Welcome to another episode of the Dragon Age Inquisition series. We've just returned from a terrible, terrible future, and I've done upgraded. What is her? Oh, it's the shine of her hair. I thought it was bald. She was losing all of her hair, but I think it's just the colors. Oh yeah, it's just the shine. Okay, I was worried about your health there, lady, but it looks like you're fine. I'm not sure what I was saying, but I will continue to say that I went ahead and leveled everybody up, and the main goal of this episode today will be talking to all of our companions. I believe they will probably have opinions on having the mages join us as allies. Some people would have preferred them to have been conscripted into, like, working for us, opposed to being allies, and some would have just straight up preferred the Templars, so I think we should go ahead and see what everyone has to say and then see where we want to go from there. I kind of want to do the next big quest in the next episode because it happening on episode 20 makes me happy. So, yes, I'll probably end up having to do a lot of the minor quests off camera because there's going to be some stuff that can't be done after that quest is completed. So I want to make sure that I've done what I want before starting that. So a lot of it is war table related. So I don't think you want to be there to watch most of that. Anyway, let's see what Leliana has to say.
Your open support for the mages likely earned you enemies. Our agents will monitor the situation. If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
Alright, so we could say, no killing, always looking to gain, I'm not afraid. Well, last time we saw her, she was trying to kill somebody, so perhaps we can do this.
You're not planning assassinations, are you?
I was planning to unleash Josephine on them. She kills with kindness. Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages.
I watched you die for me. And then we have just our general info. So let's continue this conversation.
In Redcliffe, you sacrificed yourself so that I could return here.
Of course I did. One small life in exchange for a second chance at history. I always loved a bargain.
It was still noble. That life was a lot worse. I just care that it worked. It was noble?
It was still a sacrifice, and still noble.
And I would do it again.
Oh, thanks, Leliana,
I'll
for
leave you
saving
to
the
your
world in a future that you won't have to go through, hopefully. Oh, Varric! Yes! What do you have to say?
The Mage Rebellion joins the Inquisition. I've got to admit that's a twist I didn't see coming. One thing you saw in the future worries me. I mean, it was all bad. But red lyrium and Ferelden, infecting people and growing out of them, that's bad. Finding more of it really punches a hole in my red lyrium at the temple was a coincidence theory.
Yeah, that is not great. How fast does it spread? Don't worry, let's keep opening. Yeah, let's not. We should probably assume the worst and work to counter it, so.
How long does it take for red lyrium to grow? How fast can it spread?
It took years to infect people in Kirkwall, but no one there was actually ingesting the stuff. This Elder One managed to take the worst thing I can think of and make it worse. That's an accomplishment.
He's very skilled like that. Don't worry, let's keep opening. We need to eliminate it. Yeah.
We can't leave a single piece of that lyrium out in the wild.
I'm with you on that. I've got people trying to find out where the red stuff came from.
Jesus.
I think maybe we should make that a priority. But that's enough doom and gloom. You just won a big victory for the Inquisition. What are you going to do to celebrate?
Anything but celebrate. Plan what's next, catch my breath, and have a party. Maybe ohm for a few. That's it. I am like, okay, next episode we're going into the next big quest.
I was planning to put my feet up, maybe grab a nap. You?
Whatever I do, it'll be as far from Cassandra as I can get. Things should be calm around here for at least the next hour. Take a moment to enjoy it. If the world's about to end, I'm sure the Seeker will let us know.
Thanks, Varric. I also think that scene always bogs up right there. I feel like I remember it always doing that. Don't know why. But I just love Varric. He's always like, I know what you're going through is shit. Just ohm if you can, okay? Sarah. Ooh, new song.
Seems to be a good man.
It's cool, the songs kind of change as you go. Some of them certainly have been stuck in my head before.
Just rumors.
This one's obviously about what happened up there already.
Well, that's mages all over. So many robes, I bet all of Ferelden lost their curtains. I'll just be the other side of Haven, just in case.
They are here to help us, they're what we need, and you don't like mages.
These mages are here to aid the Inquisition. Don't worry.
Sure, don't worry. Magic up there, magic down here. What's to worry about? I mean, yay, freedom. Great for them. Over there, away from me.
You don't fit from the Inquisition. You can kick her out, she'll never come back. Tell me about your background, friends. Guess we'll leave that there for now.
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
He wasn't a fan of our decision, though. Which is too bad. I don't intend to upset people, but it happens. Hey. Alright.
So we have gained the mages. Excellent. They should be able to seal the breach. You are certain you experienced time travel? Could it have been an illusion? A trick of the Fade?
Well, I'm pretty, as someone who experienced the Fade before, I could say no. Not the Fade. Dorian is certain what would be the point, and no. I kind of get where he's coming from, because it'd have different implications. Dorian, dude, you're looking shady back there. What? Could you step in the sunlight? Oh my god.
Dorian was sure. Impossible as it seems.
What an amazing gift. It is vital the Inquisition succeed to avoid the future you witnessed.
He didn't like that. Apparently he would like it if I questioned more. Thanks for the conversation. It doesn't matter. Not amazing. Terrifying. It is that. I saw you there. We didn't see him there. We didn't take Solus, right? Yeah, I didn't see him. No, that would be a lie.
Most people have trouble wrapping their heads around the idea.
I'm not most people.
I appreciate you talking with me about it. And not being most people.
If you wish me to speak of Elysian fashion, I may be at a loss. Magical surprises I can handle. Speaking of which, you should ready yourself.
For?
This Elder One. You have now interfered with his plans twice. Once at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, and now again at Redcliffe. A being who aspires to godhood is unlikely to ignore such an affront.
Thanks, Solus. Good info. Dorian!
The Inquisition supports free mages. What's next? Elves running Hallam-Sharal? Cows milking farmers?
I apologize if you heard my speakers freak out a minute ago. I don't know what's wrong with them. You disagree, think of something, it had to be done. I'm curious his thoughts.
I take it you don't agree.
On the contrary, I approve. Heartily. I do wonder if you've considered what this support of yours will do. For mages in general, I mean. The Inquisition is seen as an authority. You've given southern mages license to, well, be like mages back home.
Still trying to decide if you're saying that's a good or bad thing. As long as they're like you, is that so terrible? So they'll rule us next? I doubt that. Well, we have a policy here in this channel of always going with the romance.
If that means they're anything like you, I approve.
Ha! There aren't many mages back home like me.
I'd believe that.
I never fit in. Bloodstains are so difficult to clean, you see.
So we're doomed to a future of blood magic then?
Not at first. But you'd be a fool not to see where this could lead. Thing is, the Imperium was once just like the South. Templars, proper circles, all that rot. Then it changed. By inches. Not that this is reason to oppress us. Still, my homeland should be a cautionary tale, not a source of inspiration.
Gotcha. Alright, oh, we could talk about these two. We haven't really talked to him outside of the quest, so let's see if we can learn a little bit more about good old Dorian. Is that my speaker again? I think something is possessing my speakers.
It occurs to me that I barely know anything about you.
Beyond my being a mage from Tevinter, you mean?
Beyond that, yes.
And beyond my being so charming and well-dressed, which is obvious to anyone.
It is. It's funny flirting with him because I know he has zero interest in it, but I don't think that bothers him. I think he's just kind of a flirty type.
I'm well aware of your finer qualities. Believe me.
Of course you are. You're a discerning and intelligent woman, after all. Now, what was I talking about? Ah, yes, me. I am the scion of House Parvis, a product of generations of careful breeding and the repository of its hopes and dreams. Naturally, I despised it all. The lies, the scheming, the illusions of supremacy. That's Tevinter in a nutshell, isn't it? Needless to say, my family was not happy with my choices.
I'll just unplug those speakers. Your family's angry with you. That's enough for now. Why not go back? You don't like Tevinter and careful breeding. I mean, I can see why his family would be upset. And we do know he likes Tevinter. He's quite passionate about wanting to fix it, I think.
Why remain with the Inquisition? Why not go back to Tevinter?
I'm not exactly welcome back home. Not that it matters, I'm quite accustomed to being a pariah. It adds to my charm. I can do more for Tevinter here. If the Venatori succeed, it'll set my homeland back 1,000 years. I'm sure some magisters would disagree, but that's why we kill them.
That's why we kill them.
Why would your family be upset with your choices?
Because I rejected their idyllic plan. If they had their way, by now I'd be married to some unlucky girl from a powerful family. We'd live in luxurious despair, despising each other as I waited to take my father's place in the magisterium. I declined the honor, and thus it's best I'm far from home. Less of an embarrassment that way, you see.
They could just be like, my son is away. Not that he doesn't want to get married.
What did you mean by generations of careful breeding?
The great families of Tevinter don't have children. They refine traits, weed out the undesirable, and promote the rest. My mother was chosen for my father because magic runs strongly in her blood. Never mind that they loathed each other. They wanted a son who could become Archon to make House Parvis the envy of the Imperium. They got me. A cautionary tale that you should be careful what you wish for.
Can you imagine? That would be a very strange life. Having to be with someone you hate because of... So, I mean, it's often in our history and everything, but being on the other side of it, looking at it, it's just like, that would be miserable. Especially trying to make babies with somebody you loathed. Not great.
I'm getting the impression that you don't care much for your homeland.
On the contrary, I care for my homeland a great deal. There's so much potential. Sadly, we squander it. We refuse to acknowledge how far we've fallen because pretending is easier. We pretend the Qunari can be beaten. We pretend that we're superior to everyone, even our own people. Not everyone feels that way. I don't. Sadly, we're the minority.
It just seems... So much of what you say about the Imperium is entirely negative.
It might sound that way. For all our faults, my people have many virtues. We are laden with history and culture. Tevinter is where Thedas truly began, remember? We treasure our past and preserve it. You can walk down a side street and find nothing built during the modern ages. And despite appearances, we care. Deeply, about everything. We have no reserve, not in war and not in love. If I truly believed my homeland was beyond all hope, I wouldn't miss it so much.
It's really cool seeing him being so passionate about it.
I think I've heard enough.
That's too bad. I never tire of talking about myself.
Let's see if he's seen Alexius.
Have you gone to see Alexius yet? He's in the cells.
Not yet, no. I saw him before they locked him up. He looked despondent, broken. Not the man I remember, nor the one I want to. I suppose the Inquisition will judge him eventually. I wonder if there's any chance they'll show him mercy. He hardly deserves it, but for Felix's sake. I can't help hoping there's something left of the man I once knew.
Grim!
Nice work at Redcliffe. I could help the mages learn to work with Inquisition soldiers if you like.
Yes.
Not that the chief has any apostates in the group.
No, only archers. Let's discuss Iron Bull. How can we use you? So I think that's all the same
We'll
stuff.
talk later.
We just got a first new line.
So, that Tevinter guy sent you into the future?
Displeased. I'll protect you. I don't think he needs protection. Tevinter magic goes too far. It was incredible. Weird, right?
Every time I think I understand magic, the rules change.
I know, right? If I were a mage, I'd just throw fire at people. That's honest. Anyway, I hope our new friends have what it takes to close the breach. Damn thing gives me a headache just looking at it.
I can't imagine why. It's not swirling and green.
Travel safely.
Got Blackwall. Man, there's so many people to join us, and it's cool you get to know them as well as you do.
I've been meaning to thank you. There are 100 things that need your attention. You didn't have to take the time to help me, and yet you did.
Oh, I think we took him to a place in the hinterlands where we got old stuff for him, from his group. Right, that happened a while ago. It was a good cause, it was on the way. I mean, that's the honest one, but I'll be a little this way.
If the history you pursue benefits the Wardens, then it was worth it.
You've proven yourself to be an honorable woman. Principled. I've great admiration for you. And I've never been more certain in my decision to join you.
Woohoo! Admiration. We will do better. I'm just hiding the bad. And I don't care what you think.
I would never have guessed that you admire me.
Of course I do. You have the world at your feet, myself included.
Wow. I don't want to be worshipped. And if the world hated me, or good, stay there. The bottom comment is always like so harsh. It's either that or very sarcastic, but sometimes it takes the sarcasm to beyond good sarcasm and just to being a jerk. I don't want to be worshipped.
I don't deserve that sort of reverence.
Modest too. Your list of qualities continues to grow. Now, we should return to our duties before I get too carried away.
Talk to them.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit.
I gotta say though, can I get it so we can look at it? Is coat looks so soft. Like it looks velvety. Like it'd be nice to touch. And then here's us and this like dirty leather and fur. That part would feel nice, but all the paint and the dirt on it, less so. Alright, so we have a person talking to Cassandra, so this should be interesting.
And what are we supposed to do, exactly?
What you always do. Complain.
We've already spoken with Commander Cullen. No one listens. We want better quarters. We want the Templars kept at a distance. And some respect for...
This is not the Circle. You mages are our allies, not our wards. Act like it.
How are we supposed to...
Deal with it.
Nice forehead.
It never ends. Evidently.
I just joined like, man, that guy looked like a jerk. What's going on? Is there a problem? That's the truth, and arguing just makes them worse. I mean, it is the truth. Like, since this game has started, this poor girl has gotten no rest. Is there a problem?
You don't need to tell me that.
I just don't know who told them I'm the one to yell at.
Is it that bad?
The mages are here as equals. They need to get used to what that means. It is your doing, after all. You created this alliance.
I did. I didn't think they'd all whine about it, though. I hope it'll work out. I did my best. You're blaming me. No, I don't think she is. I hope it'll work out.
Well, I hope it works. What other choice do we have?
Oh, I do sound like I'm blaming you, don't I? I don't disapprove. In fact, you did well. You made a decision when it needed to be made. And here we are. I wish I could say this was my doing.
Flatterer. You got us here, which is true. I am pretty clever. And just remember that. These two, good lord.
You're flattering me.
I'm not. This always happens. Nobody ever takes my meaning.
You should see your face.
I'm thinking less flattering things now. Let's hope the breach has your sense of humor.
She's like, stop with the flirting. I don't want it. I'm all business. Nothing fun. She's also not into ladies, but I think it's mostly that. Oops.
Yes?
Sorry, I was only talking about you. I didn't want to actually talk
That's
to
enough
you.
for now.
Another time, then.
I just think she's like all business. Like, this is not the time. Do you mind? So we talked to. Oh, let's see about Josephine. We still have Josephine and Vivienne. And then we can poke our head down into the cells and we can see Alexius. I don't feel like I ever say it right. I apologize. This isn't gonna go well. She's gonna be very unhappy with me. I know it. Could you please do your chant a little quieter? Okay. She's very much for the circles and keeping all of the mages safe and all of that. I understand that point of view, and if it was an option, maybe it could be considered, but she just doesn't like them being free.
If Fiona and her malcontents are joining us as allies, we need to be prepared. Abominations are inevitable. Cullen doesn't have enough Templars to handle incidents. Some of the rank and file need to be trained.
Absolutely not. We need to control the mages, keep them hidden. It's a good idea. It's so tough. I don't see being prepared as bad. But I think that some people would be upset that you don't trust the mages. But if it's something that... The circles were started for a reason because some people couldn't control their magic and bad things happened, so they need help. So, I don't know. I feel like the circles are too far, but people need help if they need help, you know? So, I don't know. This is one of the harder decisions I've ever made in these games.
The last thing we need are abominations running amok.
I knew you would have a proper grasp of the situation. I'll have a word with Cullen. We are reliant on his people, absolutely. There has never been a greater threat to mages than the breach. Until it is closed, no one is safe.
I'm not as confident in them. Do you pose a risk? I don't trust mages. I mean, I don't think she does, but I don't want to do the other two, so...
When you say mages are a danger, are you counting yourself?
Of course I am, my dear. Every mage who joins the cause is taking a calculated risk, whether they know it or not. Magic is dangerous, just as fire is dangerous. Anyone who forgets this truth gets burned.
Templars aren't the solution, I agree with you. Tevinter doesn't think so. Dalish don't have Templars. And that's just Chantry rhetoric. Okay. So the Dalish instead only keep one mage and banish anyone who exceeds the mage limit per population. So, I mean, their solution's not the best. Tevinter sounds like it's a mess after listening to Dorian all that time. I mean, I do agree that magic is dangerous in the way that fire is dangerous. So I guess this?
You're preaching to the choir, Vivian.
Tell me something. You said once that you wanted to change things. What future would you build for mages?
They should be free, they should be in the Chantry, or we need the circle back. I guess... I don't know. I feel like a lot of times my decisions and conversations with her are very conflicting. Because I want a middle ground, you know? So I'm like, it would be nice to have protection for people who need it, but I also want them to be free, and it's a mess. I'm a mess. Okay, I'm sorry. Mages should be free, or they should be in the chantry. I don't know if the circles were necessarily the best, because there were good circles, but there were also a lot of bad circles. So I guess if circles came back, we'd need them fixed. Maybe the chantry's the middle ground. I don't know.
Mages shouldn't be kept out of the chantry. Who knows the dangers of magic better than a mage?
A curious idea. Such twists and turns your mind takes. It's something to consider, my dear.
Aha! I did okay. I didn't make all the wrong decisions.
The Inquisition appreciates your assistance in this matter, Lady Corbin.
And my miners appreciate your business. You'll have your lyrium by the end of the week. I should tell you, Ambassador, the Chantry raised some fuss when they learned about our arrangement.
The Inquisition must certainly seem an audacious idea to the Grand Clerics. We hope to convince them it is a necessary one as well.
You're so good at your job, Josephine.
I'll take my leave. Good day.
Who is she, Ambassador?
A merchant. I thought we should reach out to the dwarves to secure lyrium for the Inquisition's mages. According to Lady Corbin, it raised the ire of the Chantry.
How?
Access to lyrium makes us rather more formidable than anticipated. We're becoming a challenge. Sadly, the remaining Grand Clerics appear to be consolidating the Chantry's power, instead of comforting the masses.
That's unfortunate. It's been this way for years. It's needed more than ever, and it's incompetent. Now's the time to help people.
The Chantry should be a place of hope, not another group scrambling for answers.
That must be its strength again. The Chants did much to bridge nations. Little but the Chantry ties Orlais, Nevarra, Ferelden, Antiva, and even Rivain to a common cause.
Has the Chantry truly promoted such peace?
Andraste's chant is familiar across kingdoms, a source of many shared customs. That is the crucial point. Common ground is the start of all negotiations.
That's true. I can see the importance. You make it sound easy, and it's also the start of many fights.
So if everyone listens to the chant, things will be smooth as silk.
I did say commonality is merely a beginning, but it's an important one. We must learn to think beyond our own wants to secure peace in Thedas.
You sound too good to be true. That's an ambitious notion. It's a tall order. I feel like those are kind of the same thing. And that's not our job. We have a policy.
How did someone so lovely and selfless go into Orlesian politics, Lady Montelier?
Well, that is, really, you give me too much credit. While you're here, I do have a question. The remaining Grand Clerics sent a missive inquiring about the events at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. They demand to know whether the Inquisition officially claims that Andraste saved you from the breach. If it were up to you, how would you reply?
Well... She chose me, I don't know, that's private. How will you? And I don't claim to be holy. Let's go with the question mark first.
Will my answer change your reply to the Chantry?
If Leliana, Cassandra Cullen, and I could agree on our official stance, I could answer that. We should decide soon. The revered mothers don't seem to know what to make of you.
I don't know if saying that Andraste saved me would make it better or worse with them, though, you know? I don't claim to be holy, or I don't know. I guess I don't know.
I don't know if a miracle from Andraste saved me any more than they do.
Yet as rumors your Andraste's herald grow, the Grand Clerics may not believe such a humble reply. A difficult situation, and I thank you for your answer. A good day to you.
Thank you, Josephine. Thanks for being amazing, keeping all the political stuff under wraps. And then there's one more task. Down here, I'd assume. Yes. Let's go see what the maker of a terrible future looks like. When he's no longer making a terrible future. Apparently he's in cells that I don't have access to? Well then, I guess we won't see him. At least for not now. At least not for now, rather. I am very pro in English, as I'm sure you've gathered by now. I'm gonna double check this one real quick. I don't imagine they put him in such a nice place, but he must be in a set of prison cells in the dungeon that I don't know of, so. Or I've missed him. One of the two. Either is likely. I hate that light so much. Every time. I am playing the second shortest character in this game, and I still smack my head on this. Can you imagine poor Kinari? Spill ashes all over their head. Anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of catching up with all of our people now that we've made some big decisions. Next episode we should be doing some big questy stuff. If I can get all of the stuff I want to done off camera, I might do a little bit beforehand, but I wouldn't count on it because it's gonna be kind of like the previous big quest where we will be doing it for a long time, you know? So it might be a multi-part situation, but I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day, even with my grumpy little face.